This is a French seam. It joins two panels of fabric whilst also hiding the raw edges within. It's strong, neat and durable. To add a French seam, place your fabric wrong sides together. Run a straight stitch down the edge, then fold the garment over. Press and straight stitch again to finish. The problem is knowing how much seam allowance to add to your garments so that you get the right fit and don't catch the raw edge when sewing your second stitch. My easy trick to French seams is to change the position of the needle. When running my first line of stitching, I put the needle to the extreme right of the presser foot and sew along the garment edge. I then press the seam right sides together and return my needle to the central position before making the final run of stitching with the presser foot against the edge. To know how much seam allowance to add, measure the distance between the needle and the edge of the presser foot in the central and far right position and add them together. If you're using a pattern with seam allowance added, add or remove the difference between the two measurements. For example, if the pattern has a seam allowance of 6mm and you have measured a 12mm allowance for French seams, add the 6mm to any edge you will be using a French seam. If the pattern suggests French seams in its construction, follow the instructions within the pattern, but the principle will be the same as demonstrated earlier in the film. To encourage the seams to lie flat and further strengthen the joint, I may top stitch the seam along its free edge, giving you a similar look to a flat felled seam. But this may be bulky in heavier fabrics. French seams are often used on sheer, lightweight and delicate fabrics and give a luxurious feel compared with a zigzag or an overlocked edge. French seams are easy, so give it a go on your next project. Find more sewing content on The Unpicker. And if this was useful, why not subscribe?